Hello, I'm former journalist and political campaigner Phil Doherty, and this is Politics Unravelled. Please give the video a subscribe and a like on the way in, as it helps the channel enormously. Thank you. Well. Now, yes, Scotland is missing £1.5 million. Now, that's one quarter of the £6 million that was raised during the IndyRef. Has it been stolen? We'll have to wait for the Police Scotland, to investigate to be actually sure if that is true or not. But if this is actually true, then there is a constant thread that is running through all of this. And that trend is the SNP and real and alleged thieving. And isn't it interesting how members of Yes Scotland at first attempted to pin this onto Peter Murrell, Sturgeon's ex-husband. Yet the head of Yes Scotland, Blair Jenkins, later said that this was actually nonsense and that Murrell didn't have any control whatsoever of the finances of Yes Scotland. So, who did what? And where is the missing cash? Jenkins then attempted to say that there actually wasn't any missing cash and that the complainants themselves didn't understand financial accounts. Now, that actually sounds an awful lot like it's woven through the accounts nonsense that was spouted by the SNP when donors wanted to know what happened to their missing IndyRef 2 donations. I mean, we know where the IndyRef 2 cash went. Basically, the SNP used it in order to pay for a general election. And we know this because Swinney admitted it in Hollywood. Yeah, this cash that was raised for IndyRef 2 was ring-fenced, and using anything which is actually ring-fenced and said that that's to be used for a specific purpose is potentially fraud under Scottish law. Now, we know that the SNP basically ran Yes Scotland because previously Blair Jenkins has admitted this in articles. So, are there actually any missing Yes Scotland donated funds? Is it really just angry SNP supporters or indie campaigners who can't count? Well, let's be honest here. They got solicitors involved, and I very much doubt that solicitors cannot count or read financial accounts. It doesn't sit well. I mean, these people are not dumb, and neither is Wings Over Scotland campaigner Stuart Campbell. No, Mr. Campbell is not on the same side as me. I'm pro-UK. He isn't. He's a Scottish nationalist. But whether I like him, or I mean, quite honestly, I don't know him, so I don't know if I like him or not, or agree with his politics or not, is immaterial. But one thing is actually sure about Stuart Campbell, he's an intelligent man. And I very much doubt he's actually incapable of counting and reading accounts. That also, begging the pun, comes for his fellow nationalists who have brought this into the open. They're not dumb people, and neither are their solicitors. I mean, that also goes for their legal representation. I mean, are you seriously telling me that solicitors cannot count or read accounts? Is this really what Yes Scotland's officials are actually claiming? That no one but them can actually count or read accounts? Because I've got to tell you, I mean, if this is what you're actually telling, not just me, but the public and the media, it's as thin as cold, watered down soup. Now, we could all be wrong. That is true. But I doubt it. I mean, is all of the 1.5 million not really missing? I doubt that as well. It's probably just maybe it's bad accounting, maybe. But some of it not okay is definitely not accounted for. But £1.5 million doesn't just disappear like, vanish. It doesn't just disappear like some magic trick. There will be a trail. And that trail, given in the hands of forensic accountants, will be revealed as much as possible. But one thing's for sure, any attempt to dismiss this by the actual police will be probably seen negatively by everyone, including those North Scottish nationalists who have seen their actual money just disappear. And having spoken to a number of politicians around behind the scenes, they're not going to be believed. And with both Police Scotland and the Fiscal Procurator's Office already claiming it wasn't them who decided to ditch the separate IndyRef 2 investigation, any attempts to push this further under the carpet will actually call into question their actual impartiality, whether they like this or not. I mean, they might not realise, but there is actual serious questions being asked by senior politicians across the UK about this whole affair. I mean, the thing is, Police Scotland and the Procurator Fiscal's Office, they're actually public servants and not in the junt of the SNP. And any political interference, further political interference, of the investigations by the SNP will come out sooner or later. And because, let's be honest, it's already starting to come out, isn't it, bit by bit? And it's already looking bad, okay, for all concerned, to be honest. I mean, from a journalistic point of view, this is not looking good for the establishment of Scotland. This is why any investigation into the missing Yes Scotland funds is going to be thorough and lengthy. It's the only way that public trust in both these can be restored in both institutions and in the public body itself. It needs not to be not dismissed out of hand. But there are still further questions about, I've been asked about the rate, well, I've been raised, about the missing £482,000 from the ring-fenced IndyRef 2 cash fund. Remember, both the police and the Fiscal Procurator's Office stopped looking into this in favour of investigating Peter Murrell and his, as far as we know, individual theft. I mean, words from a PR point of view here, from a journalistic point of view. They both actually said that the decision to abandon the IndyRef 2 investigation hadn't been made by them, thus implying it was a decision made by a third party who, let's admit it, could only be an SNP politician. And then both the police and the Procurator Fiscal Office tried to blame each other, implying it was all a misunderstanding, whilst maintaining that there was actually nothing to see here. Now, I'm a journal by profession, and when someone tells me, okay, there's nothing to see here, that kind of one that makes me even look more my nature, I guess. Right, of course, the actual problem for both the police and the Procurator Fiscal's Office is that £482,000 of the IndyRef donations was ring-fenced, and under Scottish law, using it for anything else than what was actually originally intended for is fraud, common fraud. So this is why, to restore public faith, the police cannot just flippantly say there's nothing to see here. Into this new Yes Scotland investigation, they're going to have to not do a thorough job on it to restore at least some faith within the community, voters, the actual population, that it's actually conducted this investigation to its fullest conclusion. Because if they actually try to conclude this very quickly, it'll look like it hasn't been a thorough actual investigation. It'll actually just simply reinforce the perception among some people from the country, something that's already in the public's imagination, that the entire justice system has been politically corrupted by the SNP. Now, that is whether that's actually true or not. You have to bear that in mind. It's perception we're talking about here, not reality. And it doesn't matter if it is true or not, because the perception of reality actually often beats reality. That's just the way it is. See, whatever the actual SNP thinks, or for that matter, both what Police Scotland think and the Procurator Fiscal Office thinks, this is not actually going to go away. The reason is very, very simple. I'll put it in the simplest terms that I actually can. If it smells like rotten fish, then it's likely to be rotten fish. You see, like sharks swimming in the seas, the other political parties, I'm not going to stop circling, They can smell blood in the water, and they won't let us just disappear into the murky depths of the ocean. They will keep pressing, they will keep looking, and they will uncover what's going on. Whether or not, okay, it is actually Hollywood does it, okay, or more likely, Westminster.